Hey everybody, once again welcome to another edition of Caribbean Focus TV. Of course, I'm your host DJ SUB, and in studios today we have some special guests from one of our islands who are going to be talking a whole lot in their country. But of course, here on Caribbean Focus TV, as you know, we present to you a lot of great information. As you know, we do the island hopping thing here on cftv. Of course, you know how to reach us on CaribbeanFocusTV.com. That's where you find all our past shows and anything else that's going on in our Caribbean community. Of course, don't forget to log on to our website at CaribbeanFocusTV.com. Also, you can send us an email at CaribbeanFocusTV@gmail.com, and of course, you can also give us a call at 1-866-919-CFTV. As you know, we do a weekly show, and we got 60 minutes to bring you a lot of great information and entertainment show right here tonight. Of course, I did mention to you a few minutes ago that we have a special guest in our studio who's going to be speaking a whole lot on St. Lucia. Today, our show is dedicated to St. Lucia, who celebrated its 33rd anniversary of independence, and we have the Vice President, Miss Marjorie Douglas, and the Vice President of the PRO, that is, Mr. Thomas Constable. Guys, welcome to Caribbean Focus TV.
Thank you. Hi, viewers.
Hello.
We're happy to have you here on CFTV. But guys, I tell you what, don't touch that dial. Before we go any further, we'll take a short break with a very, very nice, hot video here on CFTV. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
There's the rhythm vibration, get the evolution. Bam 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 bam. Dancehall, 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 dancehall. But I say, make it show fatal, show, make it show fatal, make it show fatal, show, make it. But I say, ma vibration contamine les meufs, elles bougent comme des cerfs dans mon dancehall. Elles dansent avec moi, j'entends murmure le voix, mais Kitty, on va danser. Il me faut un DJ, sans plus tarder quand la fête va commencer. Mais où sont les VIP, les invités, quand les places sont limitées? Musique ça t'en couillon, Angela, les t'en couillon, ça les t'en couillon, grand paragon. C'est qu'a fait bouger Angela, t'en couillon, Shakira, qui bat des jambes. C'est ça, pour éviter bon genre, le rasta qui believe, non, jaja, pas pour les bien. Musique, ça y joue le handball, pas les présidents en sécurité. Après danser jusqu'à 6 heures. C'est du wedding soul bordel. On va danser, baby, faut pas t'inquiéter. J't'abonne la gueule. C'est du wedding soul bordel. On va danser, dans ce ding soul est plus fort que moi. Ma vibration contamine les meufs, elles bougent comme des cerfs dans mon dancehall. Elles dansent avec moi, j'entends murmure le roi, mais Kitty, on va danser. Il me faut un DJ, sans plus tarder quand la fête va commencer. Mais où sont les VIP, les invités, quand les places sont limitées? Dancehall.
La cloche sonne au fond de moi, le bulletin sonne. À l'autre du troisième millénaire, je vois bouger le monde par cette vibration. À la seconde, les fans se rassemblent, ça moins attention. Le sound du saignement, tout en évoquant le passion. Laissez vivre de votre corps, le respect pas figé, ça vaut de l'or. Le kitty fatal sur un même accord, on s'attache durement avec la raison.
D'évacuer nos passés, l'émotion.
Ah ouais, si le salaire pour pécher c'est d'abord. Pour moi, faire la bonne musique demande beaucoup d'efforts. Venez vous fataliser, avec moi, dance seulement. Vous ferez un bon choix, plus pas regret ça.
Dancehall is wonderful, baby. Dancehall, we keep you tight on it. Dancehall is well done. That prove my vibration. Everybody dance like you're in the corner.
Well done, the rhythm edition.
If you wanna know what I play it for her. Everybody dance like you're in the corner.
Well done, the rhythm edition.
If you wanna know. I'm a lyrical, let music on and I'm a
Alright guys, so welcome back to Caribbean Focus TV. I hope you guys really did enjoy that video. Of course, on today's show, like I mentioned earlier, we focus on St. Lucia, the island of St. Lucia, with all its activities and festivities and whatnot is going on. But however, on today's show, actually, we talk about the 33rd anniversary of independence that St. Lucia recently celebrated. And of course, like I mentioned to you earlier, we have the Vice President of the St. Lucia Association of Georgia and the PRO of the St. Lucia Association as well, Miss Douglas, Miss Marjorie Douglas, that is. and Mr. Thomas Constable, the PRO and the Vice President. Welcome again to Caribbean Focus TV.
Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, so of course on today's show we're speaking about independence, about your country. You're representing St. Lucia right now.
Yes, we
All
are.
right, let's talk about the anniversary and everything that's going on with St. Lucia's independence. Tell me a little bit about the whole history about it.
Well, as you mentioned earlier, St. Lucia actually celebrated its 35th anniversary of independence on the 22nd of February this year.
Right.
We got independence in 1979 on that date, and it's become a tradition that we have a lot of different festivities going on back in St. Lucia,
Right.
To honor that day.
What about here in Georgia, man?
Well, which brings me to Georgia, where we have our St. Lucia Association of Georgia, who does participate in these events on this end. We do our own thing to recognize the celebration. This year we had this church service and also a brunch. We kept it kind of small this year.
Okay.
We've done it big in the past, but
Well, of course, with this economic situation now, I
Well,
mean, you got to economize a little bit and at the same time maintain the energy.
That's right. That's right. I agree with that. Yeah. And we've been holding it pretty strong and trying to emulate a lot of the activities that take place in St. Lucia as far as the different festivals and so on are concerned.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, we know history in any part of the world, especially in the Caribbean, there's a lot of history going back to slavery and all that good stuff. Now, we know St. Lucia would have gotten its independence from the British like many other Caribbean islands.
That's right.
Who led that progress?
Yeah. Well, if you want to take it back a little further, St. Lucia actually was exchanged hands between British and French 14 times in its history.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
that was new. That's new to me.
It was a fierce battle between the British and the French, and I guess the British finally won in the end, and the French pretty much gave up. But they kept the island for most of the time until 1967, when they gave us associated statehood, which is like a partial independence. You were able to handle more of your internal affairs. Yeah, and the external you still couldn't handle it. Because Mother England, like we call it back home, would be responsible for that.
She makes all the decisions, all the final decisions still,
Correct,
right?
Yes.
So at that stage, it really wasn't independent state, it was just partial independence, where they only took care of the internal affairs only.
Oh, correct.
Any international any international affairs,
Right.
Of course, the motherland had to sign off on the agreement, making sure that you guys did the right thing, right?
Yes. So basically we were not a sovereign nation until 22nd February 1979 when we got independence. It was actually led by then Premier, because Premier would be the leader of the country.
Because there was no prime minister
Correct.
yet. Exactly. He was a representative that responded to the Queen of England.
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So the Honorable John Compton, he's actually passed away a couple of years ago, about 3 years ago. And he led the country into independence. It was a tough battle going back and forth to England trying to get it done.
Right.
And it was finally sealed and done on the 22nd of February 1979.
Tell us a little bit more about the former Prime Minister, or the former Premier, that is, Mr. Thomas
John Compton.
John Compton, that is. Tell us a little bit more about him and the obstacles he faced while he tried to get the country into that state.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of back and forth as far as the British how do you call them? Leaders, yeah, in terms of allowing or giving us that independence. I think it had a lot to do with what we were trying to get out of it than anything else, because after it was totally and finally agreed upon. It's basically political stuff, that was really in the way, in terms of constitution and how it's supposed to be structured and so
right.
on. Most of the stuff that was in the way, and after they got that cleared up, then we were able to get the independence.
Okay, so at the time that he was trying to get this country into a state of independence, we know there was obstacles that he faced. As a premier, was he also considered to be a governor general or something like that? Well,
we actually had a governor. That was while we were associated statehood. We had a governor who was a representative of England.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And now we still do have a governor general who does represent England still. That's how the constitution. That's the constitution the way they worked it out. So England is actually still represented in St. Lucia.
Okay.
Yeah, by the Governor General.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Well, that is some good news, guys. Once again, you are watching Caribbean Focus TV as we concentrate here on the island of St. Lucia, who recently celebrated its 33rd anniversary of independence. We'll continue with our show in just a few moments, but we'll take a short break. Right in our studios, we have the Vice President and the PRO. Stay focused. We'll be right back.
Yo, bro, I'm going back to St. Lucia, man. I'm out of here.
Alright guys, so once again, welcome back to Caribbean Focus TV. On today's show, again, we concentrate on St. Lucia as it celebrated its 33rd anniversary of independence. And of course, once again, we have in studios the Vice President, Miss Marjorie Douglas, and the PRO, Mr. Thomas Constable, who's continuing to educate us on a whole lot of St. Lucia. Now guys, I'm coming right back to you. Alright. Now, Constable, Mr. Constable, that is.
Okay.
You were in the island at the time of the independence.
Yes, I was.
And Miss Marjorie, you were out of the island. But let me go to you, Mr. Constable, first.
Okay.
Tell us what happened locally in the country when the announcement was made that St. Lucia is now an independent state. The whole atmosphere about the local people.
Right. Well, you know, as anything else, you know, politics, will have its effect on the happenings.
The parties and all that good stuff, right?
So you find basically I was like 12 years old when it happened. I was just entering high school.
You just gave your age, man. Anyway,
so basically they have there's like something called a youth rally where they have all the kids from the different schools.
Okay.
They meet in a big
park.
open field, like a park,
Uh-huh.
and they sing songs, traditional St. Lucia local songs, and we were still singing "God Save the Queen" and waving out the flag. And then there was this big ceremony, like a flag raising / lowering ceremony, because we used to fly the Union Jack. It was the British flag in the corner, the top left-hand corner of the St. Lucian flag. We used to still fly that flag.
Right.
And then and that night, the British flag came down, and the St. Lucian flag came up, and it was a really touching experience for a lot of people. And that happened at exactly midnight on February 22nd,
right,
1979.
So, speaking about the kids, now, I know in the islands, for many of you guys, for many of our American people outside of the Caribbean who don't know, many of our schools at the time and still up to today, they still wear uniform.
Right.
Were the students in fully uniformed and stuff?
Full uniform, and you could actually see different clusters of different colors of uniform, and it was really amazing. And then you see these little St. Lucian flags being waved, and it has a really nice effect. And all the cultural performances,
right,
by some of the students, you find the ones from the age 6 up until
right,
high school age, with different dances, skits,
So there was no real conflict among the people. Everyone was pretty much happy and accepted the independence.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. We actually definitely everybody embraced it, because there was this this mental
state.
Well, pretty much like the mental thinking, like a stereotype kind of thinking, England is always the worst. Mother England.
Okay.
So
you feel free. You feel free.
Just happy that it's finally gone.
Okay. Now, Miss Marjorie, you of course you're a St. Lucian yourself, and you were out of the country at that particular time when that announcement was made. Okay. As a matter of fact, from our prior conversation offline, off air, you were in the mother country at the time when St. Lucia gained its independence.
Yeah.
Tell us about the atmosphere in England at the time amongst the St. Lucian people.
Well, I think the feelings were mixed.
Okay.
In terms of, England at the time was giving them a good living. So some people who were not against it but had reservations about it, England gave them the living.
Right.
So why change things? They left St. Lucia and didn't realize, things have changed in St. Lucia. Because a lot of people, unfortunately, did not go back to St. Lucia. So they couldn't understand why St. Lucia wanted its independence, because everything was okay for them.
Right.
And the other side, those who were enthusiastic about it, a lot of them went to St. Lucia, to celebrate.
Right.
And those of us who were left behind, there were church services, there were different functions that we attended. With the British monarchy, they had, I think, a church service at Westminster Abbey.
Okay.
In honor of the independence.
Wow.
So they honored that.
That was big.
And yes, it
right.
was. So although there were mixed feelings, I think in general the majority was for it.
So with the people, since there were mixed feelings, I mean, of course we know that there are people who have most of the families back there, and then the ones who actually got Europeanized, that is, because of course they feel like the British country was giving them everything was good for them.
Right.
Was there any conflict among those people? I mean, was there any tension built up as a result of, okay, well, I'm good, so I'm not, they don't need to go independent, as compared to the people who say, well, we need to be independent.
All right, and I think it's an age difference. So the younger people were for it. And at that time, we had a lot of overseas students fresh from St. Lucia.
Right.
Too. So they were for it, and the younger generation was for it. The older ones are stuck in the ways. So, and knowing the St. Lucian they left, which they left in the 50s and the 60s, so they couldn't see how St. Lucia could be independent and live on and be able to function by itself.
Right.
Because the St. Lucia they left, was supported by England. So in their imagination, they just couldn't understand how St. Lucia would survive by itself on its own. So that was hard. It's a hard concept for them.
I mean, I can relate to that because, of course, when you have a small island, a third world country who was going for its independence, and so we know that at the time, especially at this time, there was not a lot of industry being built or anything like that. It's just that you're gaining the independence from a mother country. Of course, people can have the concern about how would the country survive without any source of leadership in that sense. You know, they know that if something went wrong, the British will always be there to support the island, of course. So, you know, it's pretty standard for any of us, you know, our parents are not there anymore, what are we going to do next? Kind of mentality, right?
Right. And I think also they wouldn't have had enough details as to exactly how things were going to work out.
Well, education is a key, exactly.
Right. And a lot of the people at that time, they were the kind of jobs they did, you know, they were scared about, you know, if they were, I suppose probably and again, television and stuff like that, they didn't have all that. Letters was, people were still writing letters.
We didn't have the social media and all that stuff.
So they didn't know what to expect. And I think that was the fear of it all, not knowing. Exactly, having all the details as to what it would look like.
How personally speaking, how did you personally react when you heard that, of course, you're being outside of the country and there was no real means of communication? However, you relied on mails, for example, like you just mentioned. How was that communication go back and forth?
Well, for me, I think me personally at the time, to be honest, I didn't think much of it. My father, on the other hand, was very for it. You know, my mother, they were very, they were glad it happened. And other people around us were happy that it happened. But as I said, you know, it was a back and forth, big discussions as to whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, you know, like everywhere else. But I think in the end, everybody embraced it.
Okay.
You know.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, well, before we go any further, I got a question for both of you guys. Now, when was the last time you guys went back home, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, I was back home, what, 2 years ago? 2010.
Okay. And I assume that you really pay close attention to the development of the country.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
okay, so tell us real quick, I'm not sure how much time we have before we take the next break, but tell us briefly, what is the state of the country today?
Well, I could say St. Lucia has progressed very, very much. I mean, there's a lot of development.
I tell you what, hold that thought. We're going to take a short break, guys. We will be right back. Again, we're celebrating the 33rd anniversary of independence right here on Caribbean Focus TV. Stay focused.
Oh, na, na. Yeah, na, 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 yes. Yeah. In the streets it's getting hot, and the youth them I get so cold. Searching for food for the pot, and they'll do anything to fill that gap. Lord, in the streets it's getting hot, and the youth them I get so cold. Searching for food for the pot, but they'll do anything to fill that gap. As generation comes and grows, you got to make preparation while the youth them grow. It's what you reap is what you sow. The youth them are the light and the future, so when that's them, you know. If education is the key, now tell me why the big heads are make it so expensive for we. Give them the key or set them free. In the streets it's getting hot, and the youth them I get so cold. Searching for food for the pot, where they do anything to fill that gap. Boy, in the streets it's getting hot, and the youth them I get so cold. Searching for food for the pot, where they do anything to fill that gap. Oh, na na na, oh mama, oh mama, na 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 na. You got to find a better way, 'cause when me looking at Babylon, me see a beautiful play. I saw the Gideon say, yeah. Our nation come together, know that King Selassie has the truth and the light and the way. Teach the people, lead them in the right way. 'Cause in the streets it's getting hot, and the youth them I get so cold. searching for food for the pot. They'll do anything to fill that gap. Boy, in the streets it's getting hot, and the youth them I get so cold. Searching for food for the pot. They'll do anything to fill that gap. You got to show the people there's still a bright way. I know for sure the sun will come out today. Vanity's an illusion will have to fade away. And all the wicked deeds are done, I know you got to pay. Cause in the streets it's getting hot, and the youth them I get so cold. Searching for food for the pot. They'll do anything to fill that gap.
Alright guys, so you're looking at Caribbean Focus TV. I hope you guys really did enjoy that other video right here. As you know, we do the island hopping thing here on CFTV. But in studios again, we have the Vice President of the St. Lucia Association of Georgia and the PRO, who is telling us a whole lot more on St. Lucia, leading up from its independence to its current time. And just before our break, I'd ask a question to the PRO as to what state the country is in today, and he started to give us some information. Now, Mr. Constable, back to you. Okay, and Miss Marjorie also. Yeah. We'd ask a question: what state is the country is in today? Tell us, what's going on in St. Lucia today.
Well, with the big financial meltdown that happened a couple of years ago, 2008, I think it was. St. Lucia actually did get its share of
economic crisis.
Too. But however, I think we pulled through it very well.
Okay.
Yeah, well, very well. Our employment rate went up a little bit, but for the most part, I think we kind of pulled through very well. As far as development is concerned, the island has developed very, very well over the years. We used to depend on bananas for our export.
Right.
Yeah, but things have changed and things has been different. So,
what is the main source of export right now for the country?
Yeah. Right now, our main money earner is tourism.
Okay.
Yes, but export we still export bananas.
Okay.
Yeah, bananas, and then we do the coconut as well. We have a lot of small agricultural export as well, but it's not on a very, very large scale. But that's mostly what we depend on, and of course the foreign exchange and custom tariffs and stuff. That's what the government really needs to.
Now you mentioned something really interesting. I know back in my country, for example, we export bananas, nutmegs, cocoa, all that good stuff, and we depend heavily on tourism as well.
Right.
Of course, I'm not going to say it right now because we're concentrating on St. Lucia.
Right.
You mentioned coconut.
Yes.
Of course, Miss Marjorie, I know you're a big cook. You look like a good cook too. And we know we can use coconut to do all of the stuff in the kitchen as well. But how big of an export is coconut in St. Lucia?
Well,
I mean, both of you guys can answer the question.
Yeah, I mean, coconut is it used to be a lot bigger, without a doubt. But what happened is we use the coconut and we make a coconut oil out of it. The same oil, you cooking oil, we make it out of coconut. We actually make soap, washing soap out of that. And I think there's a lot of other byproducts that comes out of that coconut. But for export, I would say maybe about 3% or something like that of our export product would be the coconuts.
Well, I mean, based on what the country has to offer, 3% is a significant number.
Yeah, it is. Yes,
especially with the byproducts that comes out of it.
Correct.
With the oil and the soap.
Yeah.
And of course, I mean, the coconut oil, for those of you who don't know, coconut oil, yes, it's a good way of cooking, I'm telling you. It's good, it's good. Yeah. Speaking about tourism, now, St. Lucia, main source of income is through tourism.
Tourism, yes.
Okay. Tell us, what are the means of transportation to the island for tourism?
Well, the main source of transportation, it would be by air and by sea. Most of our revenue would come from the ones by air, obviously, because
Okay.
they would spend the nights, week in the hotel and so on,
Okay.
and spend more money. Because when the
cruise
cruise
ships?
ships come through, they just spend a day there, like 5, 6 hours, 8 hours max, So you get a little revenue out of that.
Well, in my experience about St. Lucia, I think it does pretty well with its marketing strategy and tourism, because you look at the TV and you would see something about traveling to St. Lucia for the for tourists,
Yes,
for
yeah.
tourism, that
Yes,
is.
sir.
And which I think is really good. I think most of the Caribbean islands really should concentrate on trying to do this type of marketing, because I mean, even if the conditions in the Caribbean is pretty much centralized, we have almost the same environment.
pretty much, yeah.
However, I just think that the different islands really should concentrate on doing that. But going back to St. Lucia again with its tourism, the Jazz Festival was one of the biggest festivities that takes place in St. Lucia annually.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the Jazz Festival. yes, Miss Marjorie, it's your time to tell me something.
Okay, so in May, we have a big jazz festival that comes out in May.
Every year?
Every year, and we get the top artists, from all over the world.
Right.
And although it's called the Jazz Festival, we have different genres, different types of music, and it happens different parts of the island too.
Okay.
And speaking about other events, we do have our carnival in July, and that was changed from February to July for tourism reasons.
Really?
So, yes.
You know what? I had no idea this happened, because for the history of the Caribbean, we know the carnival is always set on one particular day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But now that you just mentioned, you say it was for tourism reasons.
Yes, it was.
Okay, break that down for me a little bit more in its entirety.
Okay, so as we know, Trinidad has the carnival in February.
Right.
And they get most of everybody tends to go to the Trinidad Carnival. 'Cause,
Right.
it is very good. So we thought, okay, we have to find another way of getting people in the island, since as tourism is our main
Source of income.
Source of income.
Right.
So we decided to try
revenue, that
another
is.
month. Right. So July seemed to work out very well. So other people can come down from all over, because the kids are on vacation in England. The kids are on vacation over here. So it's a good time for, the whole family as a whole to go down, and, the income, more income for the country.
Right.
So I think it was a great move to
Okay.
bring Carnival to July.
Also, what other events does the country hold?
Okay, one of our main events is called Journée Creole, and Journée Creole means Creole Day.
Creole Day.
So, and the purpose of that was to get everybody speaking Patois or Creole, as we had, because it was a dying dialect or language, whichever you know.
I was just about to ask that question. Okay. That sounds very interesting. Now, well, since we're on the show, of course, you want to give us a little Creole? Tell me something in Creole.
Sakafet.
All right. I'm pretty sure our producer can relate to what you just said.
Yes.
Okay, so Creole Day. What actually happens on Creole Day exactly?
All right, so it's a big festival all over the island. And it's food, drink, music, every part of the island. And also people are supposed to be speaking Patois for that day. And they put a little twist into it. So if you don't speak Patois, they have something called a Patois police. So he might come up to you and ask you a question. And if you answer in English, then you find something little, just to put a
So you have to be
accent.
alert.
Yes, at all times.
Okay.
So it's another way of fundraising. It's nothing big. It's another way of fundraising. But it's food, drink. It's another reason to party.
Well, that sounds very interesting, because there's something that seems like I would like to be a part of. Just to, you're walking on the street and you're just waiting, unexpectedly someone asks you a question in Creole, and you have to answer that question and like.
Yes.
Now, is there any other activities you guys want to share with our viewers on the show?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like I said earlier, we try to emulate whatever activities a festival going on in St. Lucia up here. Well, we haven't done the jazz up here yet. But,
Right.
But what we do, we try to get the independence. We would do the Journée Creole, which is another way to say English, Creole Day, you say in English. And like she was saying, it just celebrates our culture. We have a rich French and British culture because of that changing hands of British and French in our history. So it brought this about. And then we have, and plus, we have this African culture as well.
Right.
So the three of them, one big melting pot in St. Lucia, and then you find all these personalities come out of it. And and we adapt to it very well. We try to do it up here in Atlanta, and it's usually the last weekend in October, or maybe the first weekend in November.
Okay.
And it's actually, we started kind of small, and now it's getting really big. We get a good performance. Last year we had a really good performance and attendance, from our patrons and our members and the friends. We had a lot of American people who came in, a lot of people from different islands who didn't even know anything about Creole actually came in, and kind of celebrated with us,
And we also have a quadrille group, so that's our culture, showing our culture right there.
Okay.
So the quadrille stems back from European days, where they would bring in a slave, because it's a quad, so therefore you have to have a partner. So if they were missing a partner, they bring in a slave too. And then what the slaves did was mimic the same thing. So we do the same movements, but with a Caribbean twist to it.
I understand.
Yeah.
Now we are about to go into a short break, but let's go back to the jazz festival a little bit. Give me some of the performances or performers that that perform at the jazz festival on an annual basis.
We've had some really big names back there. I think we had Rihanna one time, and we went back. We had Luther Vandross came out there.
Kenny
G,
Shaka Khan.
We had Aretha, I think, in 2010.
Yeah.
Was it Aretha? Yeah, I think it was Aretha. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this year, actually, I think one of the big name on the ticket is Lionel Richie. Yeah, so he's going to be there performing this year for jazz. I'm trying to go too. I don't know if I'll make it though.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, of course, you're watching the celebration here on Caribbean Focus TV of the St. Lucia Association, who recently celebrated its 33rd anniversary of independence. Of course, they're here to educate us, the vice president of the association and the PRO. But before we go any further, guys, I will take a short break here on Caribbean Focus TV. Stay focused. We'll be right back.
That's what you're looking for. Whole night you got me waiting. Boy, I can't take no more. You think it's a joke I'm making. You're thinking that I don't know. In a little hole you're creeping. I make up my mind for sure. Get out the door. Well, boy, I'm sick of all the lying and all the games you play. I love you, but I won't stay with you another day. It makes you see that, baby, you're not the one
Alright guys, so we arrived back here in Caribbean Focus TV, and don't forget you can also log on to our website at caribbeanfocustv.com for this interview or this segment of the show and many of our past shows. Of course, you can also log on to send us an email, that is, at caribbeanfocustv@gmail.com, or you can give us a call at 1-866-919-CFTV or 1-866-919-2388. Just a reminder, guys, that this show is also brought to you in part by the St. Lucia Association of Georgia, Live Video Production, and Sound Explosion Entertainment. Once again, in studios, we have the Vice President of the St. Lucia Association of Georgia and the PRO, who is telling us a whole lot more on St. Lucia. Again, guys, of course, we've been talking about the tourism aspect of St. Lucia, leading up from its independence, what state the country is in today, and where we are with all the festivities and activities and whatever is going on back home. Mr. Compton, Constable, that is, Constable. I call it a premium. Anyways, Mr. Constable, now we know St. Lucia is a volcanic island, and we know it's also a tourism attraction.
Correct, yes.
A lot of people go there to view the sulfur springs, for example.
Correct, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about all those natural sites on the island.
Yeah. Well, St. Lucia is famous for its pitons, which is was classified as a World Heritage Site.
Okay.
Yes, and a lot of people come to St. Lucia for that, and it's also known for having the world's only drive-through volcano. So you drive-in volcano. Really? Yeah, you could actually drive all the way up into the volcano. Yeah, and you got hot springs. There's sulfur. It's really nice. This is one of the main attractions to St. Lucia, and when I go to St. Lucia, I always go there. You know, because it is believed to have some healing powers in the water as well.
That's amazing, man. Yeah. You say the volcano is a form of attraction when people drive through.
Yeah, you can drive into the volcano.
Now, yeah. I thought I was very good in Caribbean geography, but you know, I never heard about a drive-through in St. Lucia, man.
Yes.
I'm excited now. You gotta tell me everything about that drive-through. Because I'm thinking of volcano. You're talking about ash and lava and maybe hot water and all that. You know, tell me something.
Well, the thing about this, our volcano is very dormant. I mean, it hasn't had an eruption since I don't know when. So basically it's very calm, and it just has some lava flowing out. Well, not really lava, sorry, but hot water. You know, coming from the ground, spring water, and it's coming out really nice and hot. People go out there and take baths in there, and you could actually go in and see the boiling points. You know, yeah. And they have tour guides out there who will take you through that as well.
And is it a form of tourist attraction?
Yes, it is. Yes.
I know you want to say something, Ms. Marjorie.
It's one of our main tourist attractions, and I think they were even experimenting on trying to see if they can get electricity from the
volcano.
Yeah, geothermal. Geothermal. Yeah.
That's
and it's good for your skin. Really good for your skin.
You mean the water?
Yes, and they make soap out of the
ash that comes from it.
The lava.
Sulfur.
The sulfur.
The sulfur.
Yeah, sulfur. Yeah.
So okay, so we're speaking about the hot spring now, and we're talking about hot water because I'm interested now. Okay, you see my interest is growing, right? We're speaking about the hot spring, and water is coming from it, and we also have the sulfur coming from it.
Yes.
Describe the sulfur, what it looks like, because I don't know.
Well, the sulfur it's kind of porous, and it's kind of yellow, and it has a real bad stench. From the time you approach in the area, you could know.
You know
really
sulfur.
Yeah.
Does it smell like the natural sulfur that we probably can smell?
Yes, but it's a little stronger. Yeah, because it's really
pure. It's raw.
It's pure and raw. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, and you said, Miss Marjorie, you said that the water really is very important to the skin.
Yes, it's very good for your skin, combined with the sulfur, because the sulfur is in the water. And they do have bath houses where you can go. The water is filtered down to the bath houses because obviously it's too hot in its natural state to hot bath.
Right.
So it's filtered down into bath houses where you can go and have a sulfur bath. In the area. So
speaking about the purification of the water in terms of if you have skin disease or something.
Right, eczema.
Okay.
Very healing for all those things.
So you're saying, if I have a little thing on my skin here, I can just go in there and I get real pure.
99.999. Sorry for that extra 1%.
Well, that's really interesting. Now, I'm pretty sure our viewers here on Caribbean Focus TV would love the experience of going to St. Lucia to view the actual volcanic activity, which is a form of tourist attraction, and what it does to the human body. I mean, I have to stay on this topic a little bit more, because tell me anything else that I don't know about that activity, man. I'm interested now.
Well, I mean, it's like I said, it's something that people really go out there for. We have locals appreciate it even more. I mean, people arrange trips, among the locals to just go down.
Like a picnic, place.
Picnic place, yeah. And you got the vendors out there with all the souvenirs and all that stuff there, like you'd see any other tourist attraction. Yeah.
Okay. What temperature approximately is the water that flows, and what is the color of the water? I mean, I wish we had a video to show our viewers, but of course, what I will do one day, I'm gonna go online and download it so we can actually present it on the show. But describe the water as it comes out of the volcanic.
Well, we don't the water coming out from the volcano itself, it actually comes down a stream. So you find by the time it gets to the bath, where humans could actually go into it, it has already cooled down quite a bit. But by the time it gets there, it's still about 110 degrees about there, I would say.
Oh, so it's really hot. Okay. Yeah. And do people walk through, or do they drive through?
Yeah, you could drive all the way up into the volcano, and then what you do is you would have to, if you want to get the cooler water, which is about 110 degrees, you have to come down to the bottom.
Right.
Because it has to go through so you cool down.
And which part of the island is the volcano located?
It's located on the west coast, in a little town called Soufrière.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's one of our main tourist destinations. Yeah.
Man, that's some good news. Yeah. Well, for those of you who are watching Caribbean Focus TV, that was a great part of our show, which really grabbed my attention. I'm pretty sure many of you guys who out there who've never heard about the volcano in St. Lucia, you definitely want to maybe research it, or even take a trip down to St. Lucia, help with the tourism revenue or down to the island. But that's some great news. That's some good information. But I tell you what, we'll take another break here on Caribbean Focus TV. We'll be right back.
À la one bada tout moun avait dansé lembo, 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 lembo. Bikini boy, yo vini massif enragé. Dans Balawato, est-ce qu'il faut d'amener Mikiti appelle les moments enragés. Dans Balawato, est-ce qu'il faut d'amener Elie appelle les moments enragés. Dans Balawato, est-ce qu'il faut d'amener Haïti appelle les moments enragés. Dans Balawato, est-ce qu'il faut d'accorder appelle les moments enragés. Transpirer, moi pas le décoller, moi pas le fort danser, moi pas l'animer, moi pas le bouger, ou mec virer bio. Et puis, let's connection.
Limbo, show, limbo, ho, crazy ladies, been jumpsuit, dope, MC blade, hop up that dope, keep it, fada dansa, show, mouillé, hey, let's go, map déposé sous tête d'anayo, jusqu'à ce que mette minuit barré, yo, jusqu'à ce que bac à la marée pour yo,
Choukial, boule calories, Choukial, boule énergie, Rude boy, burn adrenaline, Rude boy. Tout le monde avait dansé lembo, 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 lembo. Y'all bikini boy, yo vini massif, vini lembo, 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 lembo. À la one bada tout le monde avait dansé lembo, 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 lembo la caille, lembo yo.
Lembo, et parce que toi avec, on a tout ghetto, bad man, cool man, coach coloko, hot y'all woman, kene moche les go, on a beaucoup de mounio. Laissez lembo, c'est ouvert qu'on fait ma combalance, il faut des foules les os, pour bouger nous bouquer, s'il fait se couler. Pour apprendre les pour bien pour voir l'eau, on dit certains maco, pas de place pas aux os, la cosa on t'a dit bon, il va me pas grosso modo, reste à un casse du bon pour couler le cadre, tous les babylons voyagent, yo, la fumée coupe yo, la police te couteau, mal payé, pas de ou quand on connaît les bons monter des panneaux de Rio.
Where ça passe, m'ta passé, moi tout le monde est content de blé. Mais les têtes des boum, t'es bon, t'y penses, t'y vois. Mais l'homme gars des brings, là, t'es sorti, t'es commencé de blé. Comme si moi, ma kem, t'es qu'à table balancer. Prenez la police, ça retouche, blé, blé, blé. T'es checké, on pour moi, si t'es qu'à foutre, danser, c'est wash. Oui, l'homme n'a sorti pour le faire pousser, wash. La donne sur côté pour nous, c'est white man. When I'm on you fight, man. We pop it down, so white girl, your booty hurts me. I can't hold it no more.
Lembo, 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 lembo. À la one body, tout le monde avait dansé. Lembo, 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 lembo. Y'all bikini white, you bikini massive, bikini lembo, 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 lembo. À la one body, tout le monde avait dansé. Lembo, 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 lembo. Lembo la caille, lembo yo. Pète cool, fait festival. Show, la toute party up, lembo, lembo. Ça peut pas faire yo, dem go, j'aime ta best, yo, bengo, bengo. Dance for yo, open for yo, ni spend for yo.
Alright, so this is where we break down our show on the as we come to the conclusion of the celebration of St. Lucia on its 33rd anniversary of independence. Miss Marjorie and Mr. Thomas, let's talk about the local association, which is the St. Lucia Association of Georgia. Tell us a little bit about the local association.
All right, we've been in existence for 4 years, and our main purpose is to get our St. Lucian community together and do what we can for them, whatever way we can help them.
Right.
And also to put St. Lucia on the map in Georgia. That's very important to us. And we do that by going to different events, by doing a lot of charity work. So we also do like MedShare and the food bank.
Right.
Okay.
So that's two of our main community volunteer works that we do for the association. But we also network with other associations.
Right.
And we have we will be doing other events with other associations. So our main.
So you guys not just inclined to St. Lucia. You always you're in tune with everyone else.
Yes.
Incorporate type of thing.
We are, and we're also part of the Georgia Heritage Coalition.
Okay.
Which bring all the other associations under one umbrella.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. Now, what does the association do for people back home in St. Lucia? Because I know you spoke about the St. Lucian here. You try to help them out in different ways and means. Do you guys do stuff back home? You send charity stuff back home? All that?
Oh yes, we do. We have we sponsor children with scholarships. If there's a crisis, or if we have anybody, send a donation letter, we'll look at it, and if we feel it's feasible, we can do it. We do help. As and also there is a children's home that we help out also. So we have scholarships for that,
right,
for individual students. Wherever we can help in St. Lucia, that's our main aim to try and get our people in St. Lucia to also to recognize us and know that we're there for them. So as much as we can, wherever we can help, financial or otherwise. So for instance, when we had the hurricane, we sent down a whole container.
Right. Okay.
Of stuff, and we've also sent down things for the hospital in St. Lucia. So although we a quiet community, we try and do as much as we can for our island.
What type of activities do you guys do locally, apart from just collaborating with the other associations? Do you guys do parties? What type of fundraising activities do you guys do?
We have dances.
Okay.
We try to do more things like game nights and
social activities.
More social activities.
Okay.
And we do have our regular general meetings every 3 months.
Okay.
And actually, we have an AGM coming up in March.
Yes,
okay.
on the 11th,
March
11th. Yeah, we have a general meeting. We will be actually electing a new executive March 11th. So anybody out there in St. Lucian out there who wants to be part of this process, St. Lucian or not, you could just come in. The information will be sent out. You could contact us when you get the information about how to contact us, and just get involved and be part of the process.
You guys are also associated with the International St. Lucian Association, which is called the USLOA.
The Union of St. Lucian Associations. Overseas St. Lucian Associations.
Right.
So all the other associations all over the world, they get together every 2 years, and we have a big convention for a week in different parts. So you will have different hosts.
Okay.
So it's been in London twice, St. Lucia about 3 times. Montreal, Toronto. So every 2 years, all the associations get together, and we have a week of activities.
Okay.
And it includes a business day with either the Prime Minister or a member of his cabinet comes and find out what our issues are as overseas solutions.
Okay.
And one of the things we've managed to, one of our successes is to get a barrel to St. Lucia at Christmas without paying the custom duties.
Okay.
So,
okay.
you know, so they listen to what we have to say, because again, they want us to come back into the country and invest in the country.
Okay. So tell our viewers, how can you guys be reached on TV, on the camera?
Well, we could be reached at St. Lucia Association of Georgia. Our website is www.sluag.org, and we could be contacted by telephone number 770-702-3063. And we could also be reached via email at info@sluag.org.
Okay. Well, once again, that website is sluag.org.
Yeah, ORG, yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, this is the end of the show. I want to thank you for coming out to Caribbean Focus TV.
Thank you for having us, sir.
Mr. Thomas
Yes.
and Miss Marjorie.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much for sharing all the stuff that I didn't know about St. Lucia, especially about the volcanoes. We'd love to have you back on the show sometime. Please keep in contact with us. And once again, thank you.
Thanks
Merci,
again.
merci bien.
All right? Okay, little crew. We'll be right back, guys. Stay focused.
When them fly up in your face, gal, make them know them place. Number one in a the race, gal, could never replace. Independent and you're strong, gal, and you set the pace. Fit and healthy living long, gal. Free yourself, gal, you got class and you got pride. Come together 'cause we stronger, unified. Roll it, gal, roll it, gal, roll. Control it, gal, roll it, gal, roll. Roll it, gal, roll it, gal, roll. Control it, gal, roll it, gal. When them start to talk and chat, gal, let them run them out. You believe in Father God, gal, He will run them out. Strength and wisdom you must have, gal. Try to seek them out. Liberate yourself and live, gal. Time to
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's where we come to the end of our very, very interesting show today on Caribbean Focus TV. Don't forget that you can always log on to our website at caribbeanfocustv.com for this show and many of our past shows. Or you can also give us a call at 1-866-919-CFTV. Or you can also write to us at caribbeanfocustv@gmail.com. Don't forget, once again, it's caribbeanfocustv.com for all the information. Now, before I close the show, I got my little word of wisdom. Sherry's not here, but of course, I'm going to say it as it is. My word of wisdom today is, at the end of every rope, make sure you tie a knot. That means you want to hold on strong. You won't just slip off that rope, all right? Add a knot. Once again, thank you for watching Caribbean Focus TV. Don't forget to join us same time, same place every Saturday. I'm your host, DJ Ezzy B. Stay focused.